The barn door burst open, not from force, but from sheer audacity. Marlene Baxter, president of the Silver Pines HOA, stood smugly beside two landscapers brandishing bolt cutters like trophies. Evan Thornton barely had time to yell, "Don't touch that lock," before it clattered to the ground. The men yanked the heavy wooden doors wide, revealing Sheriff Lucas Hayes, perched calmly on a hay bale under a flickering bulb, boots crossed, shotgun across his lap, and a half-empty thermos of coffee in hand. "Took you long enough," he said, his grin sharp and unamused. Evan had been trimming hedges with kitchen scissors, a defiant jab at the HOA's rules, when he found an ensigned note in a Cedar Hollow, Montana, mailbox. "Your barn violates code. Inspection at 2 p.m. Do not resist." He chuckled, tossing it aside. Defying the HOA was his pastime. Oak Ridge Estates was meant to be the Thorntons' rural escape, not a battleground for lawn zealots. Drop a comment. Where are you reading this? Here's how an HOA's break-in unleashed a sheriff's trap and a neighborhood's reckoning. Evan laughed off the note, but Clara, his sharper half, sensed trouble. She'd long suspected the Silver Pines HOA was more than petty fines for a too reflective birdbath, for unauthorized lavender, hidden cameras in fake mailboxes, a drone buzzing only their property, an old man with binoculars claiming to birdwatch but never looking skyward. They'd joked about it until the barn drew scrutiny. Evan built the barn himself, a humble shed housing old records, tools, and Clara's failed pottery. Nothing illegal, just memories, or so he thought. When Marlene's golf cart convoy rolled up, Evan had already called the sheriff for trespassing. The dispatcher claimed Sheriff Hayes was unavailable, a lie. Hayes was inside the barn waiting. As the lock fell, the HOA's scheme unraveled. Sheriff Hayes stood, racking the shotgun for effect, aiming at Marlene's clipboard. "Well now," he drawled, "you just broke and entered." Marlene blinked. "This is a compliance inspection, Section 42 of the HOA Covenant." Hayes chuckled darkly. "Ma'am, I'm the law in Willow Creek. Your paper doesn't outrank me. You've entered a sealed structure tied to an investigation. Got a badge or warrant in that fanny pack? If not, sit down and shut up." Panic rippled. An HOA board member fainted. Another ran, tripping into a pitchfork. Clara skidded up in her truck, gravel flying, seeing Hayes, the frantic HOA, and Evan's face hinting their barn might be a crime scene. She didn't yell, marching to Hayes. "Explain why you're in my barn." He nodded at the floor. "You got a trapdoor?" "We don't," she said. "You do now." Beneath sawdust, swept by Hayes's boot, was a square outline. Evan brushed it clear, revealing a hidden handle, no hinges, just a seamless wooden lid. "I didn't build that," he said. Hayes handed him a crowbar. "Let's see who did." The lid creaked open, releasing air smelling of motor oil and metal. Hayes's flashlight lit narrow wooden steps. Against instinct, Evan followed him down. Clara stayed topside, glaring at Marlene, who sobbed into her phone. The bunker below was crude but vast, corrugated walls, boxes, binders, and a tarp-covered stack. Hayes yanked it off, exposing hundreds of VHS tapes, labeled by date and address. One read, "Oak Ridge Estates, 1998, for 02, Cedar Lane." "That house wasn't built until 2002, Evan whispered. "Exactly," Hayes said. "That's a problem." His face hardened. "You sure you didn't know about this?" "I bought this land 3 years ago," Evan said. "That trapdoor was under 6 inches of concrete and sawdust." Hayes smirked. "Then you inherited more than a barn." "Upstairs," Marlene protested. "You can't arrest me. It's just a barn." Hayes climbed out, cuffing her like swatting a fly. "You trespassed, destroyed property. If those tapes show what I think, you're done." That night, with the barn taped off and the HOA gone, Evan and Clara sat on their Maple Lane porch, stunned. "What's on those tapes?" Clara asked. "I don't know," Evan said, sipping beer. "They're watching us," she replied. "Always have." Another letter slid through their mailbox. Failure to secure structure. Code 3.8a. Fines pending. Repeat offenses may result in property reassignment. They didn't laugh. Morning brought a grim discovery. A dead squirrel nailed to their door, an HOA citation pinned to it. Unauthorized wildlife interference. Code 6.1D. Clara ripped it down, cursing, as Evan stared, chilled. Hayes had taken the tapes, but when Evan asked for details, Hayes deflected. Not for public consumption. That rankled. It was their barn. Clara dug into property records, hitting the Willow Creek zoning office with a folder of documents. The clerk, reading about fencing, sighed. Old deeds are on microfiche downstairs. Bring a sweater. In a dim basement, they found a 1987 record. Their land, part of a federal seizure from Franklin H. Carver, a Silver Pines HOA founding donor. His land was taken for criminal ties, Clara said. Then it became this HOA's playground. As they left, a black SUV parked beside them. The driver, Dale Carver, 60s, BOLO tie, tanned, smiled. Evan Thornton? I'm Dale Carver, Carver Land Holdings. We share history. Clara's grip tightened. Sell your land, Dale said. Vacate in 30 days. Double your purchase price. Why? Evan asked. Dale's smile grew. You open something not meant to be reopened. Walk away before it gets sticky. Clara snapped, not interested. Dale drove off, gravel crunching ominously. Another letter awaited. Unauthorized access to sealed structure. Code 4.9E. Membership review pending. Clara crushed it. That evening, Oak Ridge Estates felt curated. No dogs, no kids, just silence. Evan visited Ted Larson, a retiree neighbor, finding his house dark, mail piled, lawn overgrown. The unlocked door revealed HOA-labeled VHS tapes. One marked Clara Thornton, May 12th. It was last week. Chilled, Evan showed Clara. We're being watched, she whispered. A backdoor knock came at dawn. Tessa, Ted's granddaughter, held a bag of VHS tapes. Ted's missing. He said go to you, if he vanished. Inside, a 2003 tape showed the HOA clubhouse, people exchanging envelopes, Marlene and Marissa Lane, the first president, escorting a man in cuffs, not police. It's leverage, Clara said. Tapes revealed spying, secret meetings, unmarked vans, and a man with a shovel vanishing into Cedar Park woods. A 1997 memo mentioned red home classification by Marissa. Evan and Tessa broke into the HOA office, finding a presidential access-only binder with 23 red profiles, including the Thorntons, marked for removal. Voices approached Dale and Hayes. They're digging fast, Dale said. Accelerate the plan. Hayes. Too many eyes after the barn. Ted's handled, but his granddaughter's snooping. They hid, escaping with photos. Clara found the barn's land was a Winslow smuggling route. A frantic Marlene appeared, shoving a flash drive at Clara. They'll kill me. It's every deal, red file. Why us? Evan asked. You're on their list, dangerous, she said, fleeing. The drive revealed payoffs, eviction plans, and Hayes urging provocation. Clara called Rachel Quinn, a journalist who'd exposed housing scams. Rachel verified the files, warning of blowback. At the HOA meeting, Evan projected Marlene counting bribes, Hayes ordering drones, and eviction profits. The room erupted, shouts, a throne rulebook. Hayes fled. Dale sat smug. That night, someone tried burning the barn. Clara spotted flames. Evan doused them. A deputy warned of a warrant for Evan's trespass and data theft. Rachel uploaded the meeting audio, sparking media frenzy. Neighbors offered tapes, exposing decades of HOA control. At a soccer field town hall, Evan and Clara showed a 10-minute expose. Residents voted out the board, electing Evan interim president. He froze fines, demanded audits, and requested federal oversight. Dale vanished, subpoenaed. Hayes was suspended. Marlene confessed, facing charges. The barn became a community archive, tapes preserved as warnings. A final letter arrived. See you soon. Code 43. Evans smiled. We're ready. Oak Ridge Estates rebuilt, free from surveillance, with Evan and Clara guarding its truth.